Good morning, children, and a warm welcome to today's biology classroom. We shall be learning about human digestive system today. Before we move on to the detailed discussion of the human digestive system and the explanation session, let me quickly share with you the learning objectives of this lesson. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify and name the different organs that make up the digestive system. You will understand the different steps involved in the process of nutrition. You will also understand the function of teeth, understand the mechanism of peristalsis, and also understand in details how food is digested in the mouth and stomach. What is nutrition? The process of obtaining food and using it to derive energy is called nutrition. Nutrition in human beings takes place in 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Now, let's elaborate on the different stages of nutrition. The first one is ingestion. The process of taking in food through mouth is known as ingestion. The second step is digestion. The conversion of complex food into a simple form by the action of enzymes is known as digestion. Why is it required to convert the complex food into simpler form? Because absorption of the nutrients cannot take place if the complex food materials are not transformed into simpler forms by the action of enzymes. The third step is absorption. What is absorption? The digested food is absorbed into the bloodstream to provide us energy. This process is known as absorption. Assimilation. The absorbed food material is utilized by the body for growth, repair of tissues, and to provide energy for different activities. This is known as assimilation. Last but not the least is egestion. The removal of undigested food wastes from the body is known as egestion. The digestive system helps in digestion of food. The human digestive system consists of the digestive tract, which is also known as the alimentary canal, and the digestive glands such as the salivary glands, liver, and the pancreas, which secrete digestive enzymes to enhance the mode of digestion for breaking down complex food materials into simpler forms. Children, this is the picture of human alimentary canal or the digestive tract. It starts in the mouth. You can see the salivary glands on both sides. Inside the mouth you have teeth and tongue. Then comes the esophagus. Actually, in between you have the pharynx, which is a common passage for both air and food. We will discuss in our consecutive slides. And the pharynx leads to the esophagus. From esophagus, the food reaches stomach. From stomach, it reaches the small intestine, which is a highly coiled tubular structure. From there, it reaches the large intestine, and the alimentary canal ends in the rectum, and ultimately the undigested food materials are egested through the anus or thrown out of the body through the anus. So it starts in the mouth and it ends in the anus. In between, the food is digested, absorbed, and assimilated in different stages. The major parts of the human digestive system are mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. It also consists of the accessory digestive glands with help in digestion. The glands are salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Mouth or buccal cavity. This is the place where the alimentary canal starts and digestion begins. The different parts of the mouth cavity are teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. The teeth. Teeth help in chewing the food and breaking it into smaller particles. As we all know, the alimentary canal starts with the mouth and we take in food through our mouth. So teeth here inside the mouth help in chewing the food and breaking it into smaller particles. There are different kinds of teeth in our mouth that perform different functions. The first set of teeth, which is known as the milk teeth or the temporary teeth, grows at the age of 6 to 7 months. They are 20 in number and they fall off between the age 6 to 12 years. So they are not our permanent teeth. The milk teeth is replaced by the permanent teeth. The permanent teeth are 32 in number. Humans have 4 types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. The last molar on each side is called wisdom teeth. Let's now discuss about the functions of different kinds of teeth. Incisors. They help in biting and cutting the food. You can see the incisors are pretty sharp and they help in biting and cutting the food. Then comes the canine. Canines are also very sharp and pointed. They help in tearing the food. The canines are the strongest in case of carnivorous animals as they need to tear raw meat. Then comes the premolars, situated next to the canines and help in crushing and grinding of food. Molars are situated behind the premolars. So they are the innermost teeth in our jaw. And they also help in grinding and crushing the food. The molars and premolars usually have a flattened top. As you can see, they are little flattened and that gives a nice surface area for crushing and grinding the food. Tongue and salivary gland are also very important part of the human digestive system and they are also situated in the mouth. Tongue. Tongue is a muscular organ covered with mucus. It helps in mixing the chewed food with saliva and thus helps in swallowing the food. It also has taste buds that help in tasting the food. It also helps us when we are talking. Salivary glands. It is the gland present in the mouth. It produces saliva which mixes with the food to make it soft. It contains an enzyme, salivary amylase, which breaks down the complex carbohydrates into simpler forms. So you can see digestion starts from the mouth itself as the enzyme salivary amylase starts acting on the food we take in through our mouth. Salivary amylase is an enzyme which helps to break down the complex carbohydrates into simpler forms. Pharynx. The mouth cavity leads to the pharynx. The digestive and respiratory systems cross each other in the pharynx. That means pharynx is the common passage for food from the mouth and air from the nose. It is a wide muscular tube which leads to the esophagus. That means the food bolus passes from the mouth through pharynx into the esophagus. Esophagus. The food from the mouth after chewing is passed to the esophagus via the pharynx. Esophagus is also called the food pipe. It is a long tube-like structure that connects the mouth to the stomach. The muscles of the esophagus contract and relax and push the food down in a wave-like motion. This wave-like motion is called peristalsis. In the adjoining figure, children, you can see that from the mouth the food passes into the esophagus, and by means of contraction and then relaxation, the food is pressed or compressed and gradually pushed down the esophagus until it reaches the stomach. And this rhythmic wave-like motion, that is the alternate contraction and relaxation of the muscular wall of the esophagus, is known as peristalsis. Stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped muscular bag-like structure located on the left side of the abdomen. It receives the food from the esophagus by means of peristalsis. The stomach walls help in mechanical digestion by churning the food. The inner walls of the stomach are lined with millions of gastric glands that secrete hydrochloric acid and enzymes. The hydrochloric acid and enzymes together is known as digestive juices. The mucosal lining of the stomach helps to protect it from the harmful effects of hydrochloric acid. As acid is corrosive in nature, the stomach lining is mucosal in nature, which protects it from the harmful effects of the hydrochloric acid, that is the corrosive effect of the hydrochloric acid. The gastric glands, as they secrete enzymes, they also digest the food material. So digestion takes place in the stomach by the action of enzymes, which help in breaking down of the complex food particles into simpler forms. Now, let's gather an in-depth idea of digestion of food in the stomach. Partial digestion takes place in the stomach by churning of the food and mixing it with digestive juices. The gastric glands present in the inner walls of the stomach secrete hydrochloric acid and enzymes. The hydrochloric acid kills the microorganisms in the food. The enzymes act on the food and break down proteins into simpler forms. So basically, protein is digested in the stomach with the help of enzymes. The partially digested food in the stomach is known as chyme. Let's quickly go through the importance of the digestive system. Digestion is important for breaking down food into nutrients, which the body uses for energy growth and cell repair. Food and drink must be changed into smaller molecules of nutrients before the blood absorbs them and carries them to cells throughout the body. The body breaks down complex nutrients from food and drink into simpler forms by the action of enzymes. Digestion takes place at various levels throughout the alimentary canal. As always, let's quickly try to recap what we have learned by solving these. I will give you 2 minutes time, and after that I will also provide you with the answer key, and you can correct your answers as you go through the answer key. Name the following: the temporary set of teeth, the J-shaped muscular organ, the acid present in the stomach, the thick muscular organ in the mouth cavity, the process of removing waste food materials from the body, the process of taking in food through mouth, the common passage for food and air, rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the esophagus. This is our answer key. The temporary set of teeth is known as milk teeth. The J-shaped muscular organ is the stomach. The acid present in the stomach is hydrochloric acid. The thick muscular organ in the mouth cavity is tongue. The process of removing waste food materials from the body, egestion. The process of taking in food through mouth is known as ingestion. The common passage for food and air is pharynx, and the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the esophagus is known as peristalsis. Thank you, children, for being attentive. Have a nice day.